This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti, Ololade. The major headlines. Rising fuel prices. NNPC may supply foreign crude to Dangote refinery. PDP. Makinde Wike camps. Confidence as appeal court rules today. Concerns as suspected thugs demolish 50 Lagos buildings. Nigerian. 2 suspected kidnappers arrested in Edo. Sports. Osimhen named greatest striker in Turkey after debut winner. Dele Bashiru eyes Coppa Italia title. Entertainment. Nollywood actress Sarah Martins apologizes for roadside cooking. News in detail. Rising fuel prices. NNPC may supply foreign crude to Dangote refinery. The federal government through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has begun moves to secure crude oil supply for the Dangote Petroleum Refinery through third-party international traders in a bid to sustain domestic refining operations. Officials, however, warned that the intervention may not immediately translate into lower petrol prices for consumers. Nigerians currently grapple with high fuel prices following the recent hikes in the cost of the commodities by the $20 billion Lekki-based refinery. Oil dealers and industry players confirmed that the refinery temporarily suspended the loading of petrol, a development that heightened speculation that another fuel price increase could be imminent. This would mean the third surge in petrol prices within a week, following adjustments that pushed country prices from 774 to 995 naira per litre. As a result, retail pump prices in several states now exceed 1,000 naira per litre, as some stations now dispense petrol at about 1,200 naira per litre, intensifying economic pressures on Nigerians. This comes as recent market data illustrates the shift in crude sourcing patterns. Pella Analytics shows that crude imports by Nigerians from the United States surged to 41.13 million barrels in 2025, up 161% from 15.79 million barrels in 2024. PDP Makinde Wike camp. Confidence is appeal court rules today. Ahead of today's appeal court ruling on the leadership of the People's Democratic Party factions, aligned with the party's governors and those loyal to Minister of Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike, have expressed confidence that judgment will favor them, insisting that legal precedents and statutory provisions support their positions. The National Publicity Secretary of the National Working Committee, led by Sani Moturaki and backed by Governors Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, Ini Ememo Bong, confirmed that the Court of Appeal scheduled the consolidated cases involving the PDP for judgment on Monday. Similarly, the National Public Secretary of the Caretaker Committee led by Mohammed Abdurrahman, Acting National Chairman, and Samuel Anyawu, Acting National Secretary, and backed by Wike Jungudu Mohammed, confirmed that the leadership dispute within the PDP has been scheduled for judgment at the Court of Appeal in Abuja. Both factions separate interviews with our correspondent expressed confidence that judgment to be in their favor. Governors of the PDP had earlier endorsed the Ibadan Convention, which produced Turaki and other members of the NWC on November 15, 4 years ago. The government also supervised the transition of leadership from former acting chairman Umar Damagun to Turaki before Damagun's tenure expired on December 9th. Meanwhile, the faction layout to the FCT Minister constituted a 13-member caretaker committee on December 8th, appointing Abdurrahman as acting national chairman and Anyawu as acting national secretary, among others, with a 60-day mandate. Concerns as suspected thugs demolish 50 Lagos buildings. Stakeholders in the real estate sector have condemned demolition of about 50 buildings in the Surulere community in Lagos State by suspected land grabbers, popularly known as Omoonile, advocating the need for transparency and proper documentation in the real estate sector. It was reported recently that many homeowners in Surulere community, Amikole, near the command area of the Alimoshi local government area of Lagos State, are counting their losses after several houses were demolished in the area. It was also learned that thugs invaded the community on Tuesday, 27 January 2026, and started demanding about 15 million naira and 25 million naira from house owners. The thugs, according to some residents, have demolished the houses of those who were unable to pay. The founder and chief executive officer of Oikos, Mr. Israel Yaza, condemned the act and called for transparency, structure, and proper documentation in how real estate activities are conducted. It said how some individuals continue to bastardize government authorities and existing regulatory structures to carry out illegal activities. Incidents like this are deeply troubling and painful for everyone who believes in the rule of law and the future of real estate in Lagos, he has said. More suspects in police net over Lagos Monarchs on start. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested additional suspects in connection with the killing of Prince Ademola Akinloye, son of the Ajinra of Abuji, Obatijani Akinloye. It was earlier reported on August 26, 2024 that gunmen shot and butchered the victim along Chevron Drive near Ebiano supermarket in the Agungi area of the state. The killing led to the arrest of 9 following intelligence gathering and investigation that linked them to the crime. According to the police, the suspects were also linked to the killing of one Sharif Salami on April 18, 2023 in the Maba community, Aja. Providing an update on the investigation, the State Commissioner of Police, Ololade, Jimo, said in a meeting at the officers' mess in the Ikeja area of the state on Thursday that more suspects had been apprehended and had made confessional statements to the police regarding their roles in the killing. Although the police chief did not disclose the number of additional suspects apprehended, he said the command had not relented in its efforts to unravel the circumstances surrounding the incident. The police chief said the command had not relented in its efforts to unravel the circumstances surrounding the incident. Nigerian. 2 suspected kidnappers arrested in Edo. The Edo State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected kidnappers, including a national of the Niger Republic, and neutralized another during separate operations across the state. The command's public relations officer, Eno Ikoedem, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, noting that 1 suspect was killed after a 4-man gang engaged operatives in a gun duel. She added that 3 other suspects fled the scene, but police operatives are already trailing them. Arms were also recovered from the gang hideout in the forest. According to the statement, the operation followed earlier reports of increasing kidnapping incidents in communities within Edo Central Senatorial District. The Commissioner of Police, Monday Agbonika, had earlier led a strategic security deployment to the area, spending 6 days there between February 16 and 22, 2026 to assess the security situation and reposition personnel for improved policing. During the exercise, forests around Ubiaja were identified as major security flashpoints and subsequently placed under intensified surveillance. Following the deployment, the Ubiaja Division, under the supervision of its divisional police officer, recorded several breakthroughs in the fight against kidnapping and other violent crimes. Osimhen named greatest striker in Turkey after derby win. Victor Osimhen has cemented his status as dominant striker in Turkish football, drawing lavish praise from former Beşiktaş director of football Under Ozen, who called him the best in the region following Galatasaray's 1-0 Istanbul derby victory over their first rivals on Saturday. Osimhen was the difference maker once again, rising to head home the only goal just after the half-hour mark, the moment that encapsulated everything that makes him so difficult to contain. It was not just the finish that impressed. Throughout the match, he relentlessly pressed, disrupted Besiktas' build-up play, and severed the defensive to midfield connections that the home side had carefully constructed. Speaking on the New Sport YouTube channel, Ozen was unequivocal, starting his assessment from European football's epicenter. He declared, "Let us begin from Bavaria and move to our region." Osimhen is the greatest striker in this area. He credited the Nigerian with threatening the Besiktas goal with simultaneously choking their rhythm out of possession, a dual contribution that underlined why Galatasaray regarded him as irreplaceable. The derby goal was no isolated moment of brilliance. Osimhen has now registered either a goal or an assist in each of his last 8 Super League matches, a run that equals the best goal involvement streak of his career. First achievement during his Napoli days in 2023, the former African Footballer of the Year has been a relentless presence, combining physical menace with intelligence movements to dismantle opposition defenses week after week. Dele Bashiru eyes Coppa Italia title. Nigeria midfielder Fisayo Dele Bashiru says his focus is firmly on helping SS Lazio win the Coppa Italia this season after a difficult campaign disrupted by injuries and international duty. The 25-year-old has struggled for consistency during his first full season with the Serie A side, but recently enjoying a positive moment when he scored his first goal of the campaign in Lazio's 2-2 draw against Atalanta BC in the Coppa Italia. Speaking to Lazio Press, the midfielder stressed that Lazio's main target is lifting the Coppa Italia, which would secure qualification for next season's UEFA Europa League, a position a positive finish to what he described as a challenging year. Our goal for the current season is to try to win the Coppa Italia. It would be important for the team and fans. It would help us finish a difficult year on a high note, also securing qualification for next season's Europa League. On a personal level, Dele Bashiru said he is determined to make the most of every opportunity in the remaining fixtures as he looks to establish himself more firmly in Sarri's squad. I just hope to play as many games as possible between now and the end, taking advantage of every opportunity I get. I want to grow every day and make the most of my time here at Lazio, helping the club, he said. The former Hatayspor midfielder admitted that the season had been far from straightforward, revealing that injuries and his participation with Nigeria at the African Cup of Nations affected his rhythm and opportunities in the team. Entertainment. Nollywood actress Sarah Martins apologizes for roadside cooking. Nollywood actress Sarah Martins has formally responded to the Lagos State government's warning regarding her recent public cooking activity, clarifying that the event was an emotional reconnection with vulnerable children rather than a deliberate breach of environmental laws. The response comes after the Lagos State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, on Saturday cautioned the actress against cooking on public roads, warning that she risks arrest and prosecution if she continues the practice. In an open letter posted on an Instagram handle on Sunday, Martins, the founder of the Sarah Martins Golden Heart Foundation, sought to set the record straight, stating that the meal was prepared in a controlled environment. I would like to respectfully clarify that I did not cook on the walkway or on the main road. The meal was prepared in front of the King's Palace under the supervision of security personnel, and the activity took place very far from the main road, ensuring that it did not obstruct movement or create any public nuisance, she wrote. Explaining the motivation behind the act, the actress described it as a response to the pleas of street children she frequently encounters. The visit was simply born out of emotional moments. I had deeply missed the bond I share with the vulnerable street children in that area, she explained. The actress offered an apology to the state government for any perceived impropriety, saying, "My brief return to that location was never intended to create any form of public nuisance, but simply to share a heartfelt moment with children who have continued to ask for my presence. However, if my actions were perceived as inappropriate in any way, I sincerely apologize. I hold the laws and environment standards of Lagos State in the highest regard. Going forward, I will ensure that all cooking activities are carried out strictly within the Clarity Kitchen provided for the foundation." Recap of the major headlines. Rising fuel prices. NNPC may supply foreign crude to Dangote refinery. PDP. Makinde, Wike camps. Confidence as appeal court rules today. Concerns as suspected thugs demolish 50 Lagos buildings. Nigerian. 2 suspected kidnappers arrested in Edo. Sports. Osimhen named greatest striker in Turkey after derby win. Dele Bashiru eyes Coppa Italia title. Entertainment. Nollywood actress Sarah Martins apologizes for roadside cooking. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, TikTok at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call the WhatsApp 091 222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a productive Monday. God bless Ifako.